But I guess they can have last week, 'cause I don't have anything this week. A request.
I think we have one now.
Yeah, you do.
Welcome and good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, March 14th. I hereby call this insurance subcommittee to order. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representatives Capley, Sapicki, Himmer, Hicks, Kumar, Lafferty, Martin, Mitchell, Rudd, Rudder, Terry, Chairman Haynes.
Here.
Chairman Haynes, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Before we get started, are there any personal orders? Seeing none. First, item number 1 is House Bill 885 by Chairman Hawk. It's been rolled 1 week. Item number 2 is House Bill 332 by Chairman Sapicki. We have a proper motion and second. Chairman, you're recognized on the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Thank you, Chairman and members. As you know, currently our TennCare program has over 1.7 million TennCare enrollees. We are in the top 5 for spending on our Medicaid program nationally, but in the bottom 5 nationally for healthcare outcomes for our Medicaid population. We as a state have allowed TennCare to continue operating with the same providers for over 20 years with no change to our healthcare outcomes. This bill simply would allow for competition to come into the state to help drive change for our most vulnerable Tennessee population. I'm sure you all have heard from TennCare that possibly this will have a negative impact, and that's just not true. You will hear that CMS may not approve this change. That is not true either. In order to be allowed to continue doing the same thing that they have been doing for over 20 years with no positive change, everybody wants to keep everything just as it is. This bill mandates TennCare to select the eligibility qualifications and standards in order to be an MCO in the state. TennCare will set those guidelines. Those qualifications must be approved by both the Senate Commerce Committee and the House Committee, who has oversight on TennCare. Once those qualifications and standards are approved, TennCare must accept all MCOs that meet those requirements. And we have a list of MCOs right now, people that want to be MCOs right now that want to come on board with Tennessee to help bring competition to the marketplace. This bill further states that TennCare must contract with at least one MCO that is partnered with a provider participation entity. The provider entity must have services in at least 80% of the counties in Tennessee, licensed by the Department of Commerce and Insurance, providing oversight, and must share risk for the financial outcomes. It is time that providers have a voice when it comes to the decisions that TennCare and MCOs are making about this and the most vulnerable population that these providers are treating. I will close by stating from a financial standpoint, the number of TennCare enrollees is going to stay the same. Nobody will be taken off the rolls. We as legislators fund TennCare based off of services provided and number of enrollees. We do not fund TennCare based on how many MCOs that they contract with. Therefore, this bill should not have any major impact to the state of Tennessee, financial impact. If you look at the fiscal note, I believe it's $26,000, and that is because the House and the Senate have to come back in and evaluate what TennCare has done. Madam Chairman, I'll be happy to answer questions.
Thank you for that explanation. Do we have any questions from members? Chairman Kumar, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman Speaker. What was this you mentioned in the last moment about the fiscal note?
Mm-hmm. In the portion of the bill, when TennCare comes up with what it takes to be an MCO, those recommendations have to come back to Senate Commerce and the House Committee. Well, if they come back to those and we're not in session, then there'd be a cost to bring those two committees back in to provide the oversight and make sure that those recommendations are exactly what the state of Tennessee wants. So the $26,000 would be allowed for those two committees to come back up here and vote if we're not in session.
Okay. Thank you. Chairman Kumar.
There is concern that there is no limit on how many MCOs we can have. Is that true?
You're recognized.
That is, well, currently there is, but no, if this bill passes, no, we would open it up as an application state like most states our size are. Some have 6, 7, 10 MCOs to spread the care out amongst everybody in the state of Tennessee.
Chairman Kubal?
And there is concern that this takes away the process of contract with the MCOs in the sense there is no more competitive bidding.
Chairman
that
Siddiqui?
true?
You're recognized.
This would not allow TennCare to do bids based off of competitive bidding. What it would do is it would turn it around and focus it more on the patient and more on the provider outcomes. Those providers that would come into Tennessee as MCOs, it would behoove upon themselves to be the best MCO for the providers, that making sure that they would want to seek them out because of they're paying more or they're providing better service to those providers, to making sure that they're getting a quicker turnaround on those payments for our patients.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Representative Himmer?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Thank you, sponsor. I was curious, I was looking at the fiscal note and it said there will be no impact to jobs in Tennessee, but I was just curious from your experience and looking at this bill, how that would affect, it's hard to believe they wouldn't affect if you're essentially canceling a third of the current MCO's business, how they would not have any job losses.
You're recognized.
Well, those jobs would be absorbed right with the other MCOs coming in. You would just be switching. So the people that are working would still be working.
Any further questions? Seeing none, we are voting on House Bill 332. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Bill goes to insurance full. Item number 3 is House Bill 567 by Chairman Carringer. It's been rolled 1 week. Item number 4 is House Bill 815 by Representative Davis. We have a motion and second. Representative, you're recognized on the bill.
Thank you, Chairman. So essentially what this bill does is it ensures that continuous glucose monitors are covered in private insurance. For some folks, they may not realize that I have a personal connection to this. My son has type 1 diabetes. And when he was diagnosed at age 1 in 2001, he was on insulin shots. And so at that time, we were using shots and then using a glucose meter to test his blood sugar. When he was about 4, he was put on an insulin pump, and that helped to control his blood sugar levels at even a better rate. And for anyone that is aware or involved with someone that has type 1 diabetes, your blood sugar levels help you to prevent some of those long-term illnesses of kidney failure, retinopathy, neuropathy. What we're wanting to do is ensure that people have a standard of care that's a high standard of care to ensure that their quality of their life and the quantity of their life is helpful. And so what a continuous glucose monitor does is it works in connection with an insulin pump, and they talk to each other electronically so that that continuous glucose monitor checks to see what those insulin levels are and then talks to the insulin pump to either give a little bit of insulin or back it off a little bit. And so anytime that you can create more stable blood sugars, that helps for those individuals to have that long-term health benefit. And with that,
Thank you.
if anyone has any questions.
Thank you for that explanation. Do we have questions for members? Chairman Lafferty, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just curious for my knowledge, the insulin pumps, are they currently covered by insurance?
They are. They
Okay.
are. And so the thing of it is we're wanting to ensure people have access to the highest quality of medical equipment possible to help them maintain and have a high standard of care. And so, yes, insurance pumps are covered. Yes, sir. And in a lot of cases, some continuous glucose monitors are. We're just wanting to ensure that more and more folks are capturing that and have the ability to take advantage of the latest medical equipment.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Chairman Terry.
Thank you, and appreciate you bringing this bill. For this, is there a fiscal note
Oh,
that way? Can you talk to me about that?
You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, sir, and that is something that we're trying to work with. But what I'm trying to get is better information with regard to the population, that because you have a certain number of folks that have diabetes. Then if you reduce that down, there's a certain number that are on insulin pumps, and then you reduce that down even more to those that are on the insulin pump that utilize a continuous glucose monitor that talks to each other. So we're going to try to work through that.
Chairman Terry.
Is this TennCare? Who put the fiscal?
Now, TennCare is actually a different bill. This
Okay.
has to do with private medical insurance, and we're working with the administration. So we'll see
Okay,
how
thank
that
you.
works out. Thank you, Chair.
Any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of sending House Bill 815 to insurance full signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Bill goes to insurance full.
Thank you, committee.
Item number 5 is House Bill 1173 by Representative Hale. It's been rolled 1 week. Item number 6 is House Bill 360 by Representative Love. I don't see him. We will roll that 1 space to the end of the calendar. Item number 7 is House Bill 362 by Representative Love. We will roll that to the hill of the calendar. Item number 8 is House Bill 425 by Representative Glenn. We have a motion and a second. Representative, you're recognized on the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the Insurance Subcommittee. Recently, extended to the postpartum coverage in TennCare so that we could keep coverage for 12 months after delivery rather than 63 days. This was a positive step. However, postpartum eligibility is only for women in TennCare. Currently, pregnant women who are Tennessee residents who are not eligible or enrolled in TennCare and have a household income at or below 250% of the federal poverty level are eligible for covered care programs and receive 2 months of postpartum medical coverage. What this bill does is extend that coverage to 1 year, just like we did with TennCare. According to information provided by the Division of TennCare, approximately 1,151 women would be eligible for the coverage offered by this proposed legislation. The governor's FY 23-24 proposed budget includes $27,377,200 in state and federal funds for extending maturity coverage and postpartum coverage to the same group of women as this proposed legislation. Again, we want to codify this and build on those efforts. With that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you for your explanation. Do we have any questions from members? Chairman Lafferty, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just curious, I hear that number used. I see it in other instances where somebody says 240% or 200% of the federal poverty level. What is that? Do you know off the top of your head what is the federal poverty level right now?
You're recognized.
No, I do not, Chairman. Off the top of my head, I can get you that information though.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any further questions? Seeing none, we are voting on House Bill. Oh, Chairman Kumar, you're recognized.
Thank you for bringing this. Just to clarify, covered kids are minors, right, who are not covered by TennCare because
they're an extension of TennCare. In other words, covered kids are those who do not qualify for TennCare. So they are enrolled in covered kids.
And why do they not qualify for TennCare?
That is a good question. I have to get that one for you as well.
Well, we trust you if you say they are not covered, but I was just curious why they are not covered. If they are. You know the answer?
Chairman Terry, you're recognized.
Yeah, just curious. I was just reading this. It said in the proposed budget for the governor, he's got $27 million in state and federal funds for extending maternity coverage and postpartum coverage to the same group of women as the proposed legislation. Can you comment on that? Is it not what he's got proposed in the budget, or is this something that you're wanting to propose as potentially a backup in case that doesn't get through the budget, or where's the conflict?
You recognize.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. No, this is an extension, so it'll be an additional add-on to the budget that the governor has. So basically, it would increase it by an additional 1,600,000 for that to cover the cover kids under the program. So it has nothing to do with the 10 care. It would be an extension. It is not a, for lack of a better word, a backdoor way of making sure that it's covered. This would be an additional funds on top of that. Does that answer your question?
So,
Terry.
thank you. So what he's got proposed in the budget, the 27 million, you say doesn't cover this, or is this an additional 1.6 state expenditures and 2.8 federal expenditures on top of the 27? Is that what you're saying?
You recognize.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Seeing none, we are voting on House Bill 425. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Bill goes to insurance full.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, committee.
Item number 9 is House Bill 1443 by Representative Parkinson. We have a proper motion and second.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Representative, you're recognized on the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have an amendment. Do you have that amendment, Madam Chair?
We do not have an amendment.
Can I roll this to, is there another calendar on, or is this the last calendar? or is
No,
it- You don't have an amendment for this bill?
No, we do not have an amendment.
Okay. Let me roll this bill, Madam Chair, if you will, because there is an amendment that we did, I thought we filed on time.
Without objection, we will roll this 1 week.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Item number 10 is House Bill 874 by Chairman Lafferty. It's been rolled 1 week. Item number 11 is House Bill 916 by Chairman Rutter. It's been rolled 1 week. Item number 12 is House Bill 920 by Chairman Rutter. It's been rolled 1 week. That concludes our calendar. Oh, sorry. Love. Okay. We're going to roll it to the next calendar. Let's see. No. Okay.
You just got to announce what you're doing with those two bills.
Okay. Item number 6 by Representative Love. Without objection, we're going to roll that 1 week. Item number 7, House Bill 362 by Representative Love. Without objection, we're going to roll that 1 week. Do we have any further comments from members? Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn? We adjourn.